about failure or the fear of failure because not much is focused on it, and yet this is one of the biggest dream killers out there. I'm on a personal mission to get more dreams activated through entrepreneurship and for women entrepreneurs and creatives to have successful and smart businesses and lives. It's no coincidence that my work focuses on people's dreams and ambitions, and with my help, make them come true using fast and wise ways. This is because I spent half my life trying to make my dreams come true and badly failed at it. I also spent a decade working on myself to change my mind, thoughts, and actions so I could achieve more successes. I'm on my own path to fully owning my business name, Successful and Smart. Some days I am and feel successful and smart, and other days I feel like a sham and a failure. I'm fortunate to live in the decade where my hard work is coming together and I can view failure with different eyes. I'll help you get to this point by the end of this video because I want you to succeed. In order to face success, we absolutely must face failure. That is, if holistic success is what you're after and not just the end goal, which in itself is a finite source of happiness. I'll share more on this idea later. Let's unpack failure and see it from a different perspective because I want to spare you a lot of the pain I went through on my path to finding myself and living out loud exactly as I please. I did not achieve this without immeasurable pain, loss, failure, defeat, anguish, or angst. I experienced them all, and I'll tell you what, I still experience them from time to time. It's like a birthing process. You don't get to say, hey, I already gave birth once. Can we bypass that with all the other children and get to the part where they've popped out and we're cooing over how cute they are? No. You give birth every single time. And so it is with your business. You give birth and go through the birthing process every single time with every idea, new client, mission, day, week, and month for as long as you're always creating and striving towards something. This is something that can't be bypassed. But there are things you can learn and apply for yourself to make the journey more tolerable and more important so you don't quit just when the head is about to pop out with a couple more pushes. You find the strength within, you dig in, and you push. At some point, your body takes over and completes the job for you. And that's also what happens with our efforts, hard work, and creations. At some point, probably when you're giving your all and have nothing left to spare, that hard work kicks in and takes you over the finish line. While you're doing the hard work of creating and pushing, it can feel like maybe you don't have what it takes after all, or that you won't finish the job, or that it won't come out as you intended, and you're left with something less desirable. These are all normal feelings, and as such, you can go ahead and give yourself permission to feel them. You want them out of the way, okay? So you can recalibrate your energy and focus back to what's important, bringing your vision to life and helping it grow to the point where it can take care of itself and you can sit back and enjoy what you've created even while maintaining it. So, what is failure and why should we care? In simple terms, failure is a lack of success. As a woman entrepreneur creative, you face this in one way, shape, or form on a daily basis. You may aspire in the morning to end up with clients by the evening's end, as an example, okay? You have networking events planned and conversations are in the books. You're confident that you will get your one yes, and you're even mentally prepared for the no's. Thing is, the evening comes about, and yes, you went networking, met a few cool people, but no business, or you had discussions and some were great calls, but no business. You check your emails and messages and no one is scrambling to buy from you. If you're like most people, you will probably feel defeated and indulge in a little self-pity, which may include sabotaging everything else that you planned, like reaching out to the people you connected with to continue forming a relationship, or working on the other parts of the business you originally planned. If you're like me, that's when you go take a long nap or eat greasy food that's probably not good for you. Now, maybe this doesn't affect you that way. You understand that business is truly, at its heart, a numbers game. And that if you keep the course, you're more likely than not to meet a yes or a door that leads you to a yes. That if you work all the different parts of your business, you enable them to come together for your good. So on you go, right? But after weeks or months or even years of not seeing anything that makes you feel successful, you can start to feel like a failure. This is the point most people take down the shingle and claim defeat. But you're not most people. You probably can't help yourself with starting back up again. That's the strange thing about God-given dreams. They never die. They don't, because God-given dreams are like energy. They can neither be destroyed nor created. They can only change form. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy is always conserved. And so when you give up on your dreams, they don't die or get lost. They change form into something else. This is the energy or vibe we receive from people who failed and gave up. Bitterness, small thoughts, comparison, underachievement, and an aversion to anything they can fail at. So, what does this mean for you, and why is this information important? I'd like to tell you my story when it comes to dreams. You see, I didn't understand all this, what I've shared with you. For me, I was either a success or a failure. Achieving dreams was black and white to me. Either you achieved them or you failed. This was conditioning from my upbringing that included a school system focused on midterm and end-of-term results. My education did not include something very important to any learning, which is process, and how success and failure work together to accomplish any dream. You see, if someone had told me back then that my many attempts at my God-given dreams were failing because that is the path to success, I may have been kinder to myself. I may have looked at each perceived failure as feedback, an opportunity to review, evaluate, and make some changes. Like many of you, I lacked that skill set, and I decided I was a failure and that was my destiny. I also grew up at a time when children were seen and not heard. So I didn't learn healthy outlets to process failure, and I looked at it the way I did my midterm and end-of-term marks, as either a pass or a fail. Believe me, when you see continuous fails in the subjects that society tells you represent successful and smart, you believe the lie that you are useless and have nothing of value to offer. I believed that until I realized in my late 30s that there was a track running in my subconscious. I believed that I could be the smartest, hardest working person on earth, but I was never really destined for greatness or to see my dreams come true in real time. I believe the lie so many creatives hear growing up and integrate, that you can't be an artist and be successful, that you are greedy or evil for monetizing your gifts, that service to God through volunteerism and philanthropy, which is how many women run their businesses, if we're honest, that was more desirable than worldly possessions, that I couldn't be spiritual and business-minded, that I couldn't be a follower of Christ and also make or talk about money. I believed every lie and misconception around women, creativity, worth, value, business, leadership, and entrepreneurship without question. Does any of this sound familiar to you? I'd like you to take a moment and think about your own beliefs around success, failure, being a woman, entrepreneurship, and creativity. What are some of the values you took on for yourself that now stand in your way? Take a moment and write down your thoughts. Okay? Now, earlier, I brought up the suggestion that one must have a balanced view of failure and success if holistic success is what you're after. If you're just into your end goal, this is a finite source of happiness. You see, back then, when my underlying belief was that I was a failure, I thought I could cure it by going for lofty goals and achieving them. If I just make this amount, then everything will be okay. If I just get him to love me, then everything will be okay. If I just get her to say sorry, then everything will be okay. If I just get this title, this phone, this car, this vacation, You get the point. And I hope we're making some connections here for you right now. Each goal didn't bring me lasting happiness. I still felt like a failure even when I overcame obstacles or reached new heights. It was never enough. I was never enough. So nothing I did or lived was enough. There was a big hungry hole in me. And when my dreams weren't working out as I hoped or expected, I turned my helpless rage inward. I abused vices, and I made sure my mind didn't have a quiet moment to itself. I wasn't interested in what I had to say or think. As far as I was concerned, I had failed. I share this story with you because a lot of you feel this way. You don't look it. You don't act it. Okay? You're the strong type. The got it together person. You're the one who figures it out. The one who makes it out of everything. You're that person. Yet, deep down, you struggle with feelings and fears of failure. They make going after your dreams painful. They stop you in your tracks. They make you second guess yourself. They make you doubt yourself. They make you wish you were someone else. Someone normal who wasn't burning with all the things you want to do. You wish you knew how to give up, give in, call it a day. But like I said, God-given dreams don't go away. So I have some good news for you, okay? First, understand a few concepts. Okay, paper and pen. Yeah, paper and pen. For every sunrise, there is a sunset. For every night, there is day. For every flow, there is ebb. For every up, there is down. This is natural and happens through natural processes you can neither create nor destroy. The same theory works in your dreams. You will experience success and you will also fail. So that's the first point. Second concept. How you view your natural processes determines your length of stay in the struggle. What do I mean by this? If you love the day and dread the night, you find that as night approaches, your energy shifts. You become anxious and fearful, right? Whatever joy was experienced during the day, it dissipates. And now, all that fills your head is impending doom. Night falls, and you shiver and quiver till morning to do it all again. Many times, failure in business triggers events that happened in childhood. Maybe like me, you weren't a great student in the sciences. And while you succeeded in your work life, the day you decided to become an entrepreneur, all that changed. And the past is back here again to remind you of your penchant for failure. Concept number 3. What if you allowed yourself a safe space to look at what you think you failed at in life? This is a scary thought for many. Who wants to go there? Failure is an interesting phenomenon that we fail to completely study, so we make conclusions about it that are ungrounded. For example, failure is a reason you succeed. If you easily achieve a thing, you miss out on a key lesson called value. It is hard to value what was not worked for. It really is. Failure and not success is what will teach you your value and what you can do. Failure helps you face yourself. Success directly feeds the ego, whereas failure, if not turned bitter, makes one humble. You get to see yourself as the flawed human you are, and it helps you be kinder with those who are struggling because you get it. You felt it. Failure makes you a better teacher. My clients' success, when they listen and follow my advice, has risen out of my many failures. Failure teaches you what not to do, what to do, how to believe, and better yet, how to be yourself when going for your dreams. You get to this place where you've experienced enough to be confident about what you can do, unashamed to ask for help and support, and deeply in tune with the price you've paid to become who you are. Failure does that for you. If I was successful at everything I did from the jump, I'll tell you, with my personality, I wouldn't have any friends right now. I wouldn't have loving relationships with my family right now, and I definitely wouldn't be married to the smartest, kindest man on earth. It just wouldn't have happened. The way God created me, if I had succeeded from the jump, I'd have been a pompous, know-it-all, show-off, and a Miss Smarty Pants to the ninth. I wouldn't be empathetic, and I would simply loathe anyone who wouldn't be at the caliber I preferred. I would have caused more pain in the world. And that is not God's mission for me when it comes to how I treat His children, which is every single one of you. Now it's your turn. Take a few moments and write down all the gifts that failure has given you, including now your current situation. What is the gift in your failure? You see, once you grasp the concepts I've just shared with you, your mind starts to change as of now. You can see that failure, though it may feel like it, is not personal. The day dawning and night falling is not personal. Someone being born and another dying is not personal. They may feel personal. For a time there, people close to my heart died. They were young, we were great friends. I saw them in their hearts and I loved them, but they died, including my dad when I was 15. So for a while their death was personal. It felt like, am I next? What's the point of chasing dreams if it can all just end just like that? So I get it. Natural processes can feel personal. They're not. They're natural processes and the price we pay to live here once and incredibly. So, your failures and your current failure, they are not signs of your uselessness or inabilities. They are natural processes on the road to success. They come together when you sign up for the Dream Factory. When you realize you have no choice but to fully express your God-given gifts, you sign on for the fulfillment and exhilaration of creating and birthing your dreams. You also sign up for success and failure and the unknown of what will happen when. What if you decided to look at your journey as a privilege? Yeah. You're privileged to do what you do. Even if it's to feed your family or pay for school, the fact that you're out there chasing your dreams, do you see the privilege? Do you recognize that someone down your generation made it possible for you to get here? What if you decided to surround yourself with others who are actively chasing their dreams? Would that make you feel less alone? For me, it absolutely has. Speaking with a coach who helped me see my situation for what it is and not what I imagined, saved time, money, and energy I would have otherwise wasted on manufactured negative feelings. Manufactured because long after the failed event, we place upon our memory our interpretation of what happened. So this is how it can look, okay? Oh, I put out a social media post and no one responded, so I don't want to do it again because I'll feel bad when no one responds. Or, another example, last time I went to that place, everyone was so horrible to me, so as far as I'm concerned, that's not a good place to go or people to see because they will treat me horribly. Right? Do you see how failure or fear of failure keeps us from doing the very thing dreams demand? Which is consistency, 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 repetition, 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 faith, 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 trials, 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 and an open heart. An open heart is the most painful part of dream chasing as far as I'm concerned. To keep yourself from giving up or being bitter means continually working on yourself to clear those channels. Often, people become jaded without knowing. Then opportunity knocks and at that moment they realize their hearts are closed and they can't open them up. So they walk away. If there's something I want you to take away from this video, it's this. Be wise around your dreams, your business, and your journey. Start to take the way you think and view the world seriously. Make it a priority to work on your inner beliefs and to normalize the experience of success and failure. Okay? Let me know what lands for you in the comments, and do share this video with the amazing women, entrepreneurs, and creatives in your life. Everyone needs to understand this.